I am fucking done sabotaging and kicking my own ass. The world out there is kicking my ass hard enough. I don't need to be kicking my own ass in here and making my own life harder than it needs to be. Alrighty, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Byron Ovenstone. If you've been here before, thank you for tuning back in. Guys, what's your relationship like? And I'm not just talking relationship with your other half or with colleagues or with everything else, but what's your relationship with food, with alcohol, with vices, etc.? Because here's the thing, man. What a lot of people don't get, or what a lot of people can't grasp and wrap their head around, is the fact that all of those are relationships. All of them need to be managed accordingly. It's very, very simple to go to the gym every single day. That's only an hour of your day. It's 4%. It's not hard. Anyone can find the time to do that. But if you don't correct your relationship with food, with vices, with your other half, and all of the other stuff that moves as well and has an impact on that outcome that you're shooting for, you will forever not see the results that you're looking for. Because for the longest time, I trained 7 days a week for an hour to 90 minutes a day, and I was still 300 pounds, morbidly obese, still had high blood pressure, still fucking hated everything about the guy looking back in the mirror. And the reason for it is because I didn't fucking go to the root cause. I didn't fix my relationship, not only with the gym, with nutrition, with the vices, but also just the relationship with myself. I didn't like the guy looking back, but then I self-sabotaged and I continued that spiral for so fucking long. And then you get to a point where, I've said this many, many times over on the channel now, but you just get to a point where you're like, fuck this. I'm putting in all this work. I'm doing all of this shit. I'm getting up at fucking 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. For what? I'm not seeing any fucking results. And you just get fed up. And you're like, bro, something's got to fucking change. And you get fed up of looking at the dude in the mirror and not liking the guy looking back. And I've touched on this on many, many episodes. But it gets to a point where you're like, the relationships that I have fucking suck. The relationship with myself fucking sucks. The relationship I have with my other half fucking sucked. The relationship I had with work sucked. And it was just like this clusterfuck of stupidity. And I hated everything about everything. And then you go, okay, relationships matter. The relationship that I have with my vices, that's a problem. The relationship I have with the gym, that's a problem. Because it was a very toxic relationship that I had with the gym. I went to the gym to rid myself of the guilt of all of the stupidity that I was doing on a consistent basis. But indirectly, going to the gym to then buy myself the opportunity to have all of those vices and do all of that stupidity off the back end. So it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy of, I'm justifying why I can do what I do because I go to the gym, but I go to the gym to then buy myself the right to justify the stupidity that I'm going to implement later. And when you start really fucking unpacking that, you're like, you're one dumb son of a bitch, Byron. Like, what the actual fuck are we doing here? Why are we just doing something to buy ourselves the opportunity of being a fucking moron later? And when you're like, bro, why? What the fuck are we doing? And you take a step back and you realize just how toxic that is. You're like, okay, something's got to fucking change. And then I told you many, many times over, stood in the mirror naked, like ripped myself apart, looked at my bank account, ripped that apart. And I'm like, okay, well, we know where all the problems are. I know what all of the issues are. But now, what is my relationship with my headspace and myself so that I can course correct and fix all of that shit? Because I don't think there's a person alive that doesn't know that good food versus bad food. They don't know that they should drink more water than they do alcohol. They don't know that they should get outside and enjoy the sunshine rather than sit inside and fucking smash donuts while watching Netflix. Like, there's no one on earth that doesn't know this shit. It's very, very easy to understand and grasp and get your head around. So none of this is like, oh my God, what the fuck? This is all rocket science to me. It's like, this is very common. It's very in your face shit that we know we need to do, but yet we don't follow through with it. And that's the relationship with yourself that you have to mend. Why am I consistently sabotaging myself, perpetuating this problem that I'm in and making this self-fulfilling cycle go on and on and on. Like, what's going on up here? Why do I not believe that I deserve this outcome? Why do I not believe that I can be happy, fit, strong, healthy, wealthy, successful, have a fantastic fucking family, a beautiful house, fucking sports cars, supercars, hypercars, helicopters, private jets? Why do I not believe that I'm worth that shit? Like, what the fuck is happening in here? What is this relationship with my own fucking head that's making me constantly spiral and get out of control? Because I would build a little bit of momentum and then I'd fucking smoke myself. And then I'd build a little momentum and I'd fucking smoke myself again. And it's not uncommon. This is a very common thing that a lot of people do. And it's like, you know how to work out. So you don't join a coaching program to get someone to tell you how to work out. You already know how. It's not rocket science. There's so many free resources on the interwebs. You can go onto Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Google's, the works, and you can find the program. You can fucking go into ChatGPT right now and say, hey, ChatGPT, write me out a workout program that's 5 days a week for 90 minutes. I want to get healthier, fitter, stronger. I'm currently 230 pounds. I want to weigh 180. And ChatGPT will go brrr, and it'll spit you out a fucking program. And if you follow that program, you will probably get results. It's not going to be the best program in the world because it's not built for you, but it's a fucking good starting point. So again, you're not hiring a coach, you're not hiring a mentor to kind of help you build a program. That's fucking entry-level shit. You should be able to do that stuff on your own. We put the cherry on the top in that we just customize it for you. We've played enough of this game to understand that this will work and this won't work. And then we put you through a series of things and we're like, okay, yep, it's working, or no, it's not. Edit, change, blah, blah, blah. So it's not about the working out. Anyone can find an hour to work out. Put a fucking gun to your head and say, hey, bitch, you have to work out an hour a day for the next fucking 30 days. You will figure it the fuck out. That's the reality. So it's not about the 1 hour in the gym, the 90 minutes in the gym, the getting that shit squared away. It's what happens when that gun gets removed from your head. And then you break that pattern of life and that cycle and you revert back to old ways. Because that's now an indication of the relationship that you have with the man in the mirror and with your own headspace. And if you have that relationship with the man in the mirror and your own fucking headspace, you can bet your fucking ass that literally whatever the fuck you want, you can bet that that shows up in other areas of your life as well. And that's where this shit becomes really important, because how is that showing up in your relationship with your other half? How is that showing up with the relationship with your kids? How are you showing up in relation with your work colleagues, your business partners, your finances? All of that stuff now has touch points with the way that you show up with yourself. And if you're someone who's looking in the mirror and you fucking hate the guy looking back, well, that's a big problem, because you've done that to yourself. You've allowed yourself to get so far off track that you literally can't stand the guy looking back. And now, are you shocked that no one else is in your camp? Are you shocked that other people aren't on board with your vision, your mission, your mindset, your purpose? You don't have one. So how can they be on point with it? How can they buy into you as a leader, a protector, and a provider if you don't even buy into you? If you don't even love the guy looking at you in the mirror, no one else can. It's just not possible. So all you have to do is understand why. And I'm summarizing the fuck out of this, if this is the easiest shit on earth to do. But you have to do the deeper work and understand why you do what you do when you know what right is from wrong. When you know that slamming a tray of donuts is not as good for you as having like a macro-friendly, macro-balanced nutrition diet or fucking protocol. Why is it that you revert to this way when you know you're going to feel like shit, you're going to hate yourself for it, you're going to beat yourself up about it, etc., 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 when this is the right answer and you revert to this answer anyway? What's the relationship that's being tampered with there? Is it your relationship with food and your inability to control your vices around fucking slamming donuts for instant gratification? Or is it deeper than that and it's an issue with yourself? and the fact that you fucking want to sabotage yourself and make the self-fulfilling prophecy happen that you suck, that you're a failure, that you'll never amount to anything, and all of the other bullshit that everyone has fed you for so fucking long. Because that's what it was for me. For the longest time that I can fucking remember, from like 7 or 8 years old, I had people telling me I would never amount to anything, that I was going to be a constant fucking fuck up, that I would never amount to anything, that like I would hang on coattails, and the list goes on, right? I was never going to make it in sports and blah, 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 blah. Violin, right? But then you get to a point where you're like, bro, that was someone else's narrative. How much longer am I going to let them control my life? And I let them control me for far too long, 20 something years, until the point of like, fuck that. I am worth the effort. I am worth the energy. I have done some pretty cool shit, even with my back stacked against a wall. I've come out of some pretty hefty situations that most people would buckle and fold under, and I'm still kicking and screaming, and I'm still fucking moving forward. Maybe I'm not the piece of shit that everyone told me I am. Maybe I do deserve a little bit more. Maybe if I loved me just that little bit more, I would get more out of this game called life. Maybe if I trusted me and I went all in on me more frequently, the results that I get off the back end would be exponentially better than I'm getting right now. And it just literally gets to a point where you make a conscious decision. You're like, fuck this. I'm done. I am fucking done sabotaging and kicking my own ass. The world out there is kicking my ass hard enough. I don't need to be kicking my own ass in here and making my own life harder than it needs to be. So when you get to a fork in the road and you've got that A-B decision, choice A, good choice, choice B, bad choice. If you're consistently going choice B, you're veering yourself further off of that path that you know you should be on. That congruency, that deep inside you, your subconscious is like, this is who you're supposed to be. This is how you're supposed to show up. This is how you live your most authentic self, your most authentic life. This is what needs to happen. You need to play out this way. And then you constantly make bad choices. You beeline to the fucking right. And all of a sudden, you're way off track. And like I've said many, many times over, you're 47 floors up looking down. How many backflips could I do before I frog splash the pavement? And what's even more crazy is you're financially fucking stacked. You make more money than most people at 26, 27, 28 years old. And you're still thinking that hitting the pavement from 47 floors is a better outcome. That's fucked up. But then you course correct and you're like, you know what, man? This is where I want to be. This is who I want to become. The relationship with me matters. I have to fix me first. I have to love the guy looking back in the mirror. And as soon as you run that play, and you're like, okay, bro, well, in order for me to love me, I have to make better food choices. I have to be healthier, fitter, stronger. I have to like the guy and respect the guy looking back. And you run that play, and you break that down into micro decisions that you make every single day, and then you plan your fucking day. If I turned this camera around, you would see that my day's planned out already for me. Wake up at 2:30, be in the gym by 3. Unless I'm going to Temecula to train with Mike, then obviously I drive, and then I'm in the gym by 4. But the reality is my day is planned out. Boom, 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 boom. So there is no ifs, buts, wins, maybes. It's like, dude, just fucking run the play. It's there for you to do. And just execute and execute and execute, and the results will come. But if you're constantly just like winging it, shooting from the hip, allowing yourself to just make decisions on the fly, do not be shocked when you make poor decisions. And then you inevitably damage that relationship with yourself further. And then you further damage the relationship with your spouse, your kids, your business partners, your fucking work, and everything else. Because if you're prepared to torch your own life, you will torch everyone else in the process. It'll be like a scorched earth fucking policy. We'll be like, bro, I leave everything to fucking chance and I will burn it all to the goddamn ground if I have to. Because that's how you show up for you. So the challenge that I have for you guys today is to have a look over those relationships that you have. Not just the relationship with your business partner and your spouse and your kids, but the relationship you have with yourself. The relationship that you have with finances. The relationship that you have with your vices, with food, with alcohol, with porn, with gaming, with caffeine, with the gym. Like, look at all of those relationships. Are they serving you, or are they taking you further away from where you want to go? If they're serving you, do more. If they're taking you further away, do less. And start course correcting. Get yourself back on track to where you want to be. But it's always, always, always going to start with the dude that's looking back at you in the mirror. When you course correct with him first or her first, everything else, like I've said many times over, life will put things in the way and take things out the way as and when it's needed to get you to where you want to go. But you have to be so fucking locked on from here and understand exactly what you want. And then you have to fuel the engine correctly. So it starts with fucking knowing that you can be better, wanting to be better, actually executing that plan, and then fueling the body the right way. Because if you're eating a bunch of fucking trash food, are you shocked that you feel like trash? Are you shocked that you don't feel good? That your energy's off? That you're sick all the time? That everything just doesn't quite vibe? It's because you're fueling yourself like a fucking piece of shit. What's crazy to me, and I'm gonna hit this and then I'm gonna fuck off out of here because I got a call in about fucking 3 minutes. What's crazy to me is that so many people treat their car in the garage better than they treat their own body. Dude, that car in the fucking garage, you can throw it away and get a new one tomorrow. Easy. This thing, this meat suit that you're stuck in, this is the last and only one you get. So now think about this. If you were to get a car on your 18th birthday and whoever gave you that car was like, hey bro, this is the only vehicle you're going to get for the rest of your life. If you don't look after it correctly, you're stuck using your 2x2s for the rest of the time. You'll walk everywhere. Dude, the lengths that you would go to look after that vehicle would be fucking obscene. It would be only the best. You would put in the best gas. You would maintain it the best way. You wouldn't cheap on anything. You would go fucking all in on that vehicle because it's the only one you ever have. So why in the fuck are you not doing the same for yourself? Why in the fuck are you quite happy to poison yourself from the inside out on a consistent basis and abuse the fuck out of your body on a consistent basis and then still tell it that it has to turn up and fucking serve you? It's madness. So like I said, fix the relationship with you first. Get your shit squared away. You only have one of these. And when it's gone, it's gone. It's a wrap. So you can continue to abuse the fuck out of it and just wait for it to break down and stop serving you. Or maybe, just maybe, take the time to repair your relationship, not only with your fucking meat suit, but within that head as well. Because there's a goddamn supercomputer up here that most people don't even tap into or use. Use it. Become friends with this thing. Allow it to serve you in every way possible. But it starts with fixing the relationship that you have with yourself, with your headspace, with your food, with your vices, and the list goes on, like I've already touched on. So my question or my ask of you today is to please commit to this process. Go all in on fixing the relationship with yourself, and I promise you now, everything gets exponentially better off the back end. If you need fucking help, dude, there's a link in the description box below. Fill out the questionnaire, book a call with me or one of my guys, and we'll talk you through the process of joining the coaching program, getting you spun up and dialed in, and really repairing from the ground up. Because your foundation is this. If this is a fuck up, everything else is fucked. It's like building your house on sand. It's not going to stand for very long, especially when you start getting a little bit too up there. So build a solid foundation first. Fix this and your head first. And then the sky is the fucking limits. I hope you guys found today's episode useful. Like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys next time. Cheers for now.